up, brother? We got AC, baby.
Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're in My Machinist Headquarters 2.0. Something, I don't know. We're back to work on Jetty's 2024 CVO St. We got a lot of goodies for it. Blue seat that's going to stay on the bike.
We went with the ocean blue.
Yeah.
It's a new thing out from Saddan.
First, real quick, Justin just got back from Born Free, California. I just got back, obviously, from my trip. You saw those videos. He did record a little bit while he was in California. Wasn't really enough to like do like a full video.
If you know me, I'm terrible at filming, so you'll get snippets.
Yeah. I'm assuming the show went great. Everything went good.
Everything went great. The show was hot, but it was super cool. I did film a little bit of Saddan and Roland sands, which were my highlights of the whole trip. So it was a good time.
You guys watch that right now, and when we get back, we're going to be working on this bike. So enjoy the Born Free 15 California content.
It has been 27 hours in the truck yesterday, so I didn't feel like pulling out my phone at all. But we finally made it. We're in Huntington Beach, and also the last 2 weeks, I dropped a couple new products. Throttle body cover and the horn delete scoop, air scoop. And Scott will drop it right there. We got to fix Jetty's bike. As always, his battery's dead and something's up with his tune on his bike. So we're going to fix those today. It is 7 o'clock. It is freaking cold, and we'll see you shortly.
Where's Kyle Murray, my brother-in-law? In the house for birthday. Hey, Kyle! Come here, Kyle!
All right, so we made it to Saddleman, and we miss Chris. They're already set up at Born Free, but we're just gonna walk through a little bit here. This has been my dream to even come to this shop because this is the old West Coast Choppers building, which is super dope. It's beautiful out here. It's so amazing. The best thing about everything is we're at the gas station, and the guys were looking at the bike saying super nice, and they called Jetty my dad. They thought he was my dad, so that was the funny. There's a guy cussing like a motherfucker. Anyways, it was hilarious. Dope.
So I think the great story behind this one, I think.
Thank you for shopping at the Home Depot.
All right, I don't know if I said it the other day, but Jetty's new F250, the AC went out on the way out here to Born Free, right before we got to the desert. So it was like 110, 106, somewhere around there, with no air conditioner, with the windows down. So it was miserable. And we couldn't get the truck fixed while we're out here. I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you what we got. Here's the generator with the backup gas can. We have the extension cord running up through the back glass, custom one-off made insulation filler, exhaust, and don't worry, everything's secure. Come into the living quarters. We have the mini split air conditioner. So,
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do, my guy. Improvise.
Big boys don't sweat.
Let's go home.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little kind of snippet of snippet.
Snippet. Short clips.
Short clips. Hope you guys enjoyed those short clips from Born Free. So here we are, we're back in the garage, like I said, and we got a few goodies. We had a few things come in. I'm gonna let Justin kind of show you what we got and what our plans for today's video are.
So I reached out to Saddlemen. I don't know if they do this for everyone or not, but I ordered just the pan and the foam because I don't know if you remember before, I'm taking the stock seat and cutting out the CVO St like little rubber badge, and we're gonna put that into the new seat. We're kind of mimicking that for the Saddlemen seat. And oh, and real quick, I learned too, these tanks are longer, so this seat is shorter. So now we can mock this up, shape it the way we want it, and then get it covered. So like I said before, this is the brake pad for like the rear brake. So I ordered another one, and now they're gonna be the passenger pegs. All I have to do is make, and oh, for $45,000, you don't get passenger pegs or mounts for these bikes. It blows my mind. But yeah, so I just gotta make a mount to mount this to the stock mount to make it all work. But I think it'd be a cool little piece. And then we ordered another, this was the shifter for the brake side now. So now the shifter and the brake matches for the mids. Hoffman Designs rear fender, shattered, whatever you want to call it. It's a pretty good match, it's very, very close. But yeah, so, and it's at the very back of the bike, so really all you're gonna see is kind of the back half. But we're gonna try to mock this up today. We're gonna drill the holes for the tail lights, sunk them in, and we're gonna drill the hole for the seat. And then...
Maybe the $500,000 in bolts.
Bro, I think this was $650 or $700 in bolts. And technically, we'll be ordering more because I don't think this is like subframe, like where it mounts up to the frame and stuff. I don't know.
There's the engine, shocks.
And these are the new, for the new 24s because they're a little different.
I guess there's nothing else to do but to get to it. Let's get to it. All right, so first we're gonna start off with, like I said, we're gonna remove the fender that we already had removed at one time and make sure everything should line up. I mean, obviously Hoffman does these, they put them on at shows, so they should be out of the box good to go.
Yeah.
But we do have to transfer over the little, there's like those little, the hardware that's on the fender.
Yep.
So we gotta transfer those over to that fender.
Threaded nuts.
Yeah, the well nuts, whatever they call them. We'll switch those over, and that way we can start getting everything else mocked up. We do not need these no more, correct?
Right, because we're doing 2-up seat.
Yeah, so 2-up seats just this one. So we don't need to reinstall this. I don't know if that hole was in there for the harness.
I don't think it is. It's not, but we will still need a hole there, or we can go along the subframe for the tail lights. We're not doing the license plate light or any of that because we're doing the license plate on the.
Oh yeah, and your subframe already has grooves in it.
Grooves on the side for the lights. I just don't know how big these wires and stuff are for this
Okay,
factory.
I guess we'll figure that out too then. Hell yeah.
It should be pretty small.
All right, well let's get you set up on time lapse. We'll get this stuff pulled off. I guess you'll start working on the mids.
Yeah, so I gotta make a spacer for that to lock the right side down, and then the mids will be done minus the mount, and that's what I'll start on after that.
All right, send you guys up. All right, just wanted to show you guys real quick what we were talking about. Because Justin offers these subframes to utilize kind of like the custom dynamic or the Kuryakin or even the NAM stealth bullet style lights, the harness actually can feed along this. So once I remove The harness, I need to see if this groove is deep enough. Like we were saying, if we can just run the tail lights, because they're going to be down here, if we can just bring the harness up and into this channel, or if we still need to run them into the fender and along the inside of the fender. All right, so to kind of explain to you guys what I was talking about with well nuts as far as the fenders go. Got you guys on the floor, by the way, but these do need to get removed. These will have to get switched over to the new fender. So it's real quick and easy, just a 3/4 socket. It just cracks loose, and then you can kind of spin it off. All right, so we got the well nuts removed. Because we got the billet subframe on here and we're not running the lower bag rails, you do not need this bracket, which this bracket, if you look up underneath here, big old thick piece of steel. It actually bolts in. If you ever see these plugs on the outside of a Harley touring fender, this is what it's for. It's to secure the fender to this actual bracket. Now, if you go over to this fender, you'll see that there is no hole. There's no hole for that bracket, but Hoffman does panel bond a screw down here, so if you're not running a billet style subframe, you can still run your stock bag rails below it to have this attached to it. It's there, it's already glued on. We're not going to do nothing with it, but we're not needing this. However, one thing I did want to show you guys is the amount of weight saving. So let's turn this thing on. Let's wait for it to zero out. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and weigh. Let's weigh the stock fender. So I've taken the well nuts out. We are saving those. The only other thing really, I think that we're going to use from this, we'll take this off because I will need this. We're going to use this on the new fender. So we can pop this off there. They get a little bit more of an accurate reading. So we'll take that off. We will need these little nuts. So we'll just take these off. Just take off these 3 nuts. The studs will still be in there, but, and that's pretty much it. And then this wiring harness is actually for, like I said, the tail lights, and it's got one for the license plate. We will need this, but I don't foresee it weighing a lot. So let's go ahead and weigh the factory fender first. All right, so like I said, this is the factory fender. It's 8.5, yeah, 8.5 pounds. Like I said, that's with that bracket that we're no longer gonna need. And the only other thing that I've left on here was the wiring. Everything else that's on this fender will not get transferred to the new fender. Now let's weigh the carbon fiber fender and see what our savings is. All right, so there's the carbon fiber fender, 2 1/4. So 6 1/4, and just in the fender.
That's pretty good. And that's not even counting the actual subframe itself?
Yeah.
Which we can weigh when we pull it off?
Yeah, the subframe, and then we also had lost the bag rails.
And I'm not pulling the exhaust off to weigh this one, but the old one is crazy.
Yeah.
That was probably the most weight would be the exhaust.
Then we got the swing arm still. There's a lot more weight savings, but that's pretty cool. All right, let's get this fender mocked up. All right, to kind of show you where I'm at on it, and then we'll show you where Justin's at. This is the Saddan seat pan. Obviously, this is still early in their production because you were telling me it's not, the new ones are molded plastic, or once they...
That one's injected molded.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I was just guessing they don't have a mold ready yet, so they're fiberglass.
So they're still doing fiberglass. So this ain't how all their seats come. So when you look at this, this is just them getting some stuff out to the public.
You never see this anyways, like show
Yeah, the underside,
clean.
Yeah, the underside still
Looks great.
the way you would want to see it, but it is a fiberglass instead of a ABS.
And I'm so glad they didn't do the humps.
Oh yeah, see, you don't even see that on there then. That looks clean.
Do we cut it up so you can see it or no?
I don't know. That's a tricky one.
Maybe not, because these pockets on mine, they go parallel with the old side covers, and the new side covers kind of go uphill, which doesn't match completely to me. So
I like
maybe
this
we
because
cover it and it follows
yeah,
that way
and I like
better.
how it follows that. So that's actually
Keep it like that and then powder that.
yeah. So basically, what I gotta do now is we're gonna make sure we got everything centered perfectly. We'll find like a good center point in
I
here.
always like to find center point and then scoot it over like 1 inch, and then where the seat's sitting crooked, that looks the best.
Jetty, because he wants the seat further back, we'll just
slide it.
we'll just put this wherever we want.
Oh, you know this damn thing sitting here this way too?
Yeah, that's what you were saying. It was at like a upward angle.
That's gonna be a fun little piece to make this older breather work.
All right, did your spacer work?
Yeah, so I did these are for like the older style, but they work. So I did a 1/2-inch spacer. It's just kind of sitting in there right now to kick everything out. I'll make a 1/2-inch spacer here for the brake lever, and then that will be in parallel. And then next will be the mid control, or the mount from there to the little mini boards.
All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this thing centered up, and then the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna get the bags back on this bike. So I gotta put all the mounts on there. I gotta get another quarter screw there so we can put the bag mounts, and then we need to start mocking up where the actual lights are gonna go. All right, so off camera, we kind of got the one saddlebag mocked up, and I think we figured out the tail light, huh?
Let's start cutting things.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It already took long enough to get this one fender. Let's not tear it up too bad. But all right, so here's what we're looking at. I think, I know this is kind of real crude because none of this stuff is tied or whatever, but I think this is where the tail light's gonna go. You agree?
I agree, and we want to keep, like, I really want to keep these tail lights. I like them. I just want to change them up a little bit, but he has them clamped on, but they're sucked way in from where they were stock, and kind of they're the exact same angle as the bag. And then on the top, we have to cut a lot because we're going to have that reservoir slide in. I want it to be sit in there, and then we'll just cope it where you have the Harley symbol just sticking out.
Yeah, so these tail lights, they have a mount there, and then they got a mount down there for this shroud here. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep where we don't have to modify the actual factory black shroud brace, I guess, tail light brace, whatever you want to call it, mount.
Yeah.
And then we also wanted to, because some of the places we were thinking about putting it was going to have the tail light hanging a little too low. So we spent about 15 minutes kind of playing around mocking it. So I think we're in a good spot. We can pull the saddlebag back off, mark our 3 holes, drill it, and then we'll just have to figure out a way to mirror it to the other side.
That one.
Okay. That's the calibrated eye?
Yeah. Actually, there's a metal plate. That's that one. This one. There's a metal plate holding this eye.
All right, let's not use that eye. We'll use the other eye. Let's get this bag off. We'll mark our holes, and then let's get these things permanently mounted. Tire starts going flat. Jetty, you need a tire.
This fiberglass is really easy to go through.
The last time we were working on this, one of the comments said their back was hurting watching us work on the floor. We need a lift sponsor. You want the nuts on the outside, or?
I want the nuts on the inside. Cause you can get a wrench to it, you know?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, you see how those are slotted, so you got a little bit of
Leeway.
wiggle room with them. I think get you an Allen wrench. It's definitely cool trying to incorporate a lot of the originality to this bike in the bike.
Yeah.
Cause it's that stuff that it's like we're pulling a Corey right now, trying to build a custom bike where no one can tell it's custom.
Yeah, because Corey's bikes look like Harley built them, which is f***ing cool.
It's a lot more work. It'd been easier just to put the lights right there.
Oh yeah.
But this is gonna be way cooler. All right, we got the 3 holes drilled. Got the bracket on there. Like I said, we went back as far back as we could. If you look at the original fender, it's probably about 1/2 inch or so, we were saying, further forward. The problem that we're running into is that we still needed to make clearance for the reservoir to slide in here between this bracket and obviously the bag mount. So we couldn't go in as far as we liked unless we ended up doing a full housing, which was going to be...
Even then, we played with it just with the light by itself.
It's still...
You start going down and in, and you can see the bottom of the light.
Yeah. So what he's doing now, we're putting some tape on here. We're going to start massaging this ever so lightly to where it eventually goes flush in there. So right now it's hitting the edge.
You know what we could do too? We technically could space it off just a little bit. Bracket here, just out a little bit to suck this down in there.
Let's see what that looks like.
And not even cut anything.
Yeah, let's see what that looks like.
That's what I do. This one, not this one.
And then just keep massaging from there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not cutting it. Sorry, Jetty, about your bike. Nah, it's gonna work. Like we said, we want to get it to where this Harley decal is just sticking out. And if anything else, we'll just peel this decal off and move it to where we where we need it to make it to what we have envisioned.
I think I'm good here.
Yeah, I think this gap's good right here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just take some meat off here to just stop from hitting, and here to give me some wiggle room. And to be honest, if I have to, I might be able to just have a bracket like that.
That'd be kind of cool.
You know, come down here or something to just.
I mean, you can tap in. Well, I can't tap
down
right
here,
there.
and just kind of like a arc.
Almost kind of like the fender
Yeah, yeah.
brackets on the.
Just.
I mean, for the first mock-up, first-ish.
Yeah, this idea was.
I like it.
I think it looks better than just having it sticking out.
Yeah, I mean, you still can assess the actual adjustment, but you don't have to see the entire canister to do so. Let's get the saddlebag on there and see what it looks like with the bag. Got a nice contour fall on that, which we didn't have to cut that because we actually spaced the tail light over some. Plus, you said your bags are meant to be more racy, kind of tucked in. And
Up and tucked. I can play with the spacing and move the bags around.
yeah, just clean that up by hand. Get that to be a little more, and then just whatever we come up with for a bracket for this will go.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go straight up and over, and then bolt, like have 2 bolts here, and then this will be like bottom. You won't see holes. It'll just be like a bracket, so it looks like it's meant to be.
It's nice you don't see the hose as much.
Yeah, before these are like up here, like way up here.
Yeah,
and
where
then the hose comes way up.
Yeah, having where it's at right now, you don't really notice it a lot. And then, like you said, if he ever puts all the docking hardware and stuff on there, it
Yeah, you
should.
shouldn't have any issues.
You got the spacer done for the mids, so technically the mids mounts are done.
Yeah.
The mounts.
The mounts. I
Not
just
for
have
the-
to make the bracket from the mounts to the boards.
Yeah, to the actual pegs themselves. All right, well, there you have it, guys. 2024 CVO St billet subframe. Got one of Hoffman's first.
No,
He's made a few of these for these bikes. Okay, well, we didn't get the first. Sorry, Jetty.
I think Rob got the first.
Rob got the first one. But either way, it's a good match. I mean, like when you look at it, and then you get up to the dash, and then to the front fender, it all looks good.
What do you think about the blue?
I like it. Kind of patriotic with the red and the white that's already on the bike. I think it looks good. Yeah, we're gonna shape that. We'll show you what we're gonna do on that. We got a couple ideas for.
Yeah, I have a fillet knife just for it, so you can like cut it.
Oh, so you're gonna cut it yourself?
Yeah.
And then your local interior guy is gonna do the seat up.
Yeah, Jimmy at Renegade Customs, he does some motorcycle stuff, but a lot of like high-end cars.
Yeah, high-end cars.
Yeah.
Let's mirror the other side. We'll do that off the camera. And then next time you see this bike, hopefully we'll be getting the subframe back from Powder. This is actually gonna be that fine, real thin gloss black you were talking about.
Yep.
Rob's got the bars in the mail.
They will
Or
be here this coming week, I believe.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait for the bars so I can send the bars and the subframe together.
Okay.
To Powder.
so I guess we'll do a quick mock-up of the bars.
Yeah.
Trim the seat. The next video. So the next time you see this bike, we'll be trimming the seat, getting the bars mocked up. The whole ass end of the bike should be done. We should be able to have all the wires routed the way we want to route them.
The very last thing we're probably gonna do is swing arm.
We'll get the bike done, and then he can have it. Get the swing arm.
I think he's gonna ride it at the end of the month
Yeah, he had a plan, a ride for it.
and then drop it back off. I'm gonna try my best to get it done before then, but I don't want to rush it. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, y'all take care. Peace.
Bye bye.